Welcome to my first makeup tutorial ever. There's been many occasions where I've been wanting to do this video but haven't had a chance to do it, but this is the first one. And full disclaimer, I am in no means a professional, but I really love makeup, so this is going to be my first makeup look that I've ever done for a video. So here we go. So we're going to start off with Fenty Beauty in the shade 370. Okay. Before that, prime. Farsali. The Farsali Unicorn Essence Marshmallow Gold. So just a few drops, one here, just so that I have some moisture on my face and so that the foundation shows a lot better. Okay, clean hands and just rub it into my skin. So Fenty in the shade 370. This is my favorite foundation ever, and I'm going to use a brush from the brand iColourCorrect. It's a travel size brush, but it's got the most amazing bristles and like dual fibers, so I really love this. I like using foundation instead of concealer for my eyelids. I just feel like, especially with the Fenty foundation, I do not have to bake as much because it really doesn't crease in my eyelids. Okay, so it gives you that like soft, dewy look. So next up, I'm going to be doing some bronzer and just warming up my face a bit. I'm going to be using Chanel. You want to actually do it where your tragus is, coming down to the angle of your lip. So you want it in that line, but at the same time you want to do upward brush strokes to elevate the face. And we do not want to bring the face down, we want it to be elevated. Most of the time I literally just bronze and then I just blend it upwards. The only thing with the Chanel one is I feel like it blends in a bit too much with my skin tone. So if I wanted more of a contour, then I would use my MAC. This was a limited edition contour palette. As you can see, it's basically finished. But I love the bronzer in here. And I would just take a normal angle brush. This is no specific brand name. And I would just lightly fluff it into the corners. Upward brush stroking motions. And then just for some definition on my jawline, just to give it that illusion of like a strong jawbone. So me and prepping skin is very quick. I don't really focus on much skin stuff. I could definitely do some color correcting, which I should probably do now. Okay, so this is the color corrector. It's by iColourCorrect, and this is one of their brushes. So if you can see, it's a dual tip brush. So we're gonna go in with the orange shade. And this is just to correct my dark circles that also come about by recurrent use of mascara. I'm just going to cancel out with the orange. So this is just supposed to help neutralize the dark tones, which it does very well. Once I feel like I've neutralized them, I just go in with the other end of the brush and I just blend any lines I want it to look normal. Cool. So those are my brows with no product on them. And the next thing I'm gonna do is fill in my brows. Fully, and then it's got the brush on the other side. And I'm using the Freedom Duo Brow Powder in dark brown. It's got a mirror on the inside, which is also super nice for traveling. That's brow done, brow not done. The nice thing about a powder when doing your brows is that it gives you a more natural look, which is always something that you would want with your brows. You wouldn't want them to look colored in, and so that's why I leave it a bit undone here so that it just looks a bit more natural and then more sculpted towards the end. I just go in angular strokes to fill in my brows, and the trick to doing your brow shape is that the brows start with the inner corner of your eye and it ends with the outer corner of your eye, so like that. That's where it's supposed to end. And also when you're doing your eyeshadow, it should not go over that angle. It should always be up until that angle. That's how you get the lifted look in your face. Brush upward to blend as well. Spoolies always help with blending your brows. And to check, yep, it ended the right spot. Okay, so this is the brush from iColourCorrect. It's also dual-ended, travel size. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my favorite palette in the whole world, the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. It doesn't look as neat on the inside, but those are basically the shades. They are so pigmented. There is minimal fallout, and this is just my holy grail. I would use any and every single color from here. So I love this palette. I recommended it to a lot of people. By the way, this is not sponsored. Look at that packaging. It's amazing. The only thing you would need to pack on holiday is this palette. So let's go ahead. The first thing I always like to do is to prime. And by the way, as you can see, I did not set my eyes, but if it irritates you guys, let me just quickly set my eyes. I would set my eyes with this translucent powder from Beauty Bakery. They actually call it Flower. I'm just going to use a normal color correcting brush. So I would suggest that you bake just before you do your eyeshadow, so that if there is any fallout of your eyeshadow, you could literally just wipe it all away and it would disappear with the powder. I'm going to start off with priming my eye with the eyeshadow. I'm going to use the shade Weekender, and it's that shade over there. And I'm going to use the buffy part of the brush. And the next thing I'm going to do is a transition shade. I'm going to go in with that brown shade, and it is called Riff. I'm just going to pat that in here. And I want to go up slowly, not right to the top, but I want to keep it within the V there. I love light browns as transition shades for my skin. Now I'm going to go in with a bit of this orange shade called Baja. Baja? So it's going to give it a bit more color. Just lightly sweeping across the eyebrow ridge. If I feel like I need more product, I'll just tap into the pan again. But I feel like that's fine for now. I'm going to go in with the shade Punk there, and I'm going to give my eye some browniness, and I'm going to go more into the crease and into the outer corner of my eyelid. So let's start at the outer corner. So baking helps, especially with the darker shades, because you really don't want your foundation to be stained by dark eyeshadow. That's why a lot of makeup artists first do their eyes and then they do their face, but I prefer doing my face before my eyes. It's each to their own. If you ever feel like you've made your eyes too dark, you literally can just go back in with your transition shades and add the colors that you did before. It's not a train smash. That's the great thing about makeup. It's like art. I'm gonna go in with this more of like a copper shade called Accelerate. I'm going to quickly just wipe off this bake. Now that that's wiped, let's go in with the other side of the brush, the flat side, and we're gonna go in with Punk again, and that's the outer corner of my lower lash line. Okay, and now we're gonna go in with the shade Accelerate for the inner corner of my lower line. Okay, so that's my eyes done. The next thing is some liner. Tarte in the shade, it's called Kitten, and that is what the tip looks like. Super, super pointy. With the right eye, I start in the middle and I go out and then I go in. With the left eye, I start on the outside and then work my way in. I know, it's just so weird. This is literally my favorite mascara ever. Etre, Belle, Lash Xpress and Hyaluronic. This is what the wand looks like in the brush. Very simple, but it really does the trick, especially for me who has no eyelashes. I like to start at the top and then go down to curl the lash, and then I go up. So I'm gonna let that dry, and then we'll do another coat just now. While I'm letting that dry, let's do some highlighter and blush. OFRA. So that's the color wheel of highlighters. Because I'm brown, I like to go in with a more champagne vibe. Those two colors there, I just mix them both. Just like to go in the shape of a C. So with as minimal highlighter as possible, I then just dab it on my nose, blend in at my nose, blend in at my temples, and by the ridge of my lip. The last thing is blush. So this is called Blushing Hearts, and it's by I Heart Makeup. It's a triple baked blusher, and it's called Candy Queen of Hearts. That's what it looks like. Smile, and I'm just gonna dab it and then use circular motions. To end off this look, I'm gonna go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in the shade Maude. And that's my lip shade. Let's just go and do our last coat of mascara. If you've ever messed mascara on your face like that, like, do not wipe it off while it's still wet. Like, let it dry and then wipe it off when it's dry. It will give you much less problems. That's the mascara done. And there you have it, guys. My finished look. Soft glam. If you want, you can change it into a night look by adding some false lashes and some eyeliner to your waterline. I love this Kohl pencil by INGLOT. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and bear in mind it is my first video, so comment, give it some love, and don't forget to subscribe down below. Bye!